It's time to predict the scores of week 27 of this 2022-2023 Championship season. Last week's top scorer in game week 26 with a magnificent score of 19 points and 4 perfect scores was Carlisle Cats. Congratulations on that score. Incidentally, 10 set YT scored 18.5 points. How that affects the overall leaderboard? Well, once again, typical, isn't it? Top of the leaderboard is GKK 474, currently on 235.5 points, but just 9 points behind him is Mark Chapman on 226.5 points, and shooting up the table, moving up 8 places after last week's exploits, is 10step _YT on 216.5 points. But enough of the admin, let's just get straight into it, predict some scores, and let's hope that I can do a lot better than I did last time out. And we start with Rotherham at home against Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn Rovers last time out in game week 26 narrowly defeated Cardiff City 1-0, and Rotherham now 4 defeats in their last 5 matches. So I think at home Rotherham will gain something in this match, a point, because even though Blackburn narrowly beat Cardiff City in that last game week, I wasn't that impressed with them, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Then we move on to Ashton Gate and the first of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Incidentally, that Rotherham Blackburn match kicks off at 12:30. Bristol City up against Birmingham. Birmingham 3 losses on the bounce now, and Bristol City only 1 win in their last 6. However, I do fancy Bristol to win this one narrowly at home. They had I think it was a draw against Swansea in their FA Cup 3rd round last weekend, and I can see the Robins winning this one narrowly 1-0. Then we move on to high flying Burnley, currently top of the table, 6 wins in their last 7 matches, facing a Coventry side who've come away with back-to-back draws in the last 2 game weeks. So I think Burnley will win this one. I think there'll only be 1 goal in it, and I can see Burnley winning this one 2-1. Coventry being defeated in the FA Cup, of course, against Wrexham. Then we move on to Cardiff City Stadium, where myself and Nathan will be in attendance. Cardiff haven't won in their last 7 matches, and Wigan have only won 1 match in their last 7 matches themselves, having lost the last 4 on the bounce. So who knows what to expect at the Cardiff City Stadium, but hopefully with that good performance against Leeds behind them, Cardiff can take all 3 points in this one, and I think they will. However, I think it'll be a low scoring affair, and I can see the Bluebirds winning 1-0. Then we move on to the MKM Stadium, where Hull City take on Huddersfield. Now Huddersfield have turned fortunes around slightly in the last few weeks, although they did suffer defeat against Luton in that last game week. Hull City back-to-back wins now, a good 4-1 victory against Wigan. Prior to that was a fine win against Birmingham, and I think they'll just take all 3 points in this one with a narrow win of 2-1 over the Terriers. Then we've got Luton coming up against West Bromwich Albion. West Brom 6 wins in their last 7, and Luton themselves find themselves on a good run of 3 wins on the bounce. Tight one this one, but I think the Baggies will come away with all 3 points, where I can see them winning 2-1, and I think that Luton have actually managed to score in 6 of their last 7 matches as well. Then we move on to Middlesbrough against Millwall. Okay, Millwall losing 1 match in their last 7 matches, but Middlesbrough's fortunes now, they're flying up the table, currently in 5th position, the playoff positions in the Championship table. I think they'll take all 3 points in this one, and I think they'll win comfortably in the end 3-1. Then we move on to Deepdale, where Preston North End take on Norwich. Now, Norwich's away form hasn't been too great in the league this season. Preston North End inconsistency could be the story of the season, and a lack of goals as well. They currently occupy 10th place in the table, 1 position above Norwich. So another tight one to call, as a lot of these games in the Championship are, but I think that Preston will come away with all 3 points, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 home victory. Then we move on to the Majestic Stadium, where it's the battle of the hoops. Reading taking on QPR. QPR 1 victory in their last 7. Reading 3 wins in the last 7, but a defeat last time out against West Brom. Another tight one, but I think Reading will take all 3 points in this one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 home win. Then it's on to Bramall Lane. Sheffield United drawing it in their last game week against QPR. QPR. Prior to that, it was 5 wins on the bounce, taking on a Stoke City's team who've had now back-to-back defeats, haven't won in their last 3 matches. A tale of the red stripes, you could say, but I think the Blades will get back to winning ways with a 2-0 comfortable victory against Stoke City. Then we move on to the Stadium of Light up in the northeast, where Sunderland take up on Swansea City. Swansea drawing in the FA Cup away against Bristol City last time out, and in the league it was a home defeat against Burnley, where they did have a lot of possession, but typical of Swansea, can't really do much with that possession. 1 win in their last 7 matches, whereas Sunderland have won 4 of their last 6, so a difficult one to call, but I think the spoils will be shared in this one. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And the final match of this game round sees Watford taking on Blackpool. Blackpool haven't won in the league in the last 7 matches, but have seen them draw 4 times. And Watford, after back-to-back defeats, they actually beat Norwich in that last game week. And I think Watford should win this one, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 home victory to the Hornets. So that concludes my predictions for game week 27 of this 2022-2023 season. As I said, myself and Nathan will be in attendance at that match at Cardiff City Stadium, where Cardiff take on Wigan on Saturday afternoon, and there will be a vlog out on Nathan's channel probably sometime on Sunday. Thanks for joining me once again. Remember to leave your predictions over at the Superbru website, see if you can climb up the table, see if we can catch up with the likes of 10 Step, Mark Chapman and GKK474. Thanks for joining me once again. I'll see you all in the next video.